Canada's 2025 to 2027 immigration level plan is just around the corner, and this year's plan comes with some big changes. That is the announcement of Minister Miller that for the first time, temporary residents, those on work or study permits, and visitors visa will be included in the overall immigration count. In 2023, million temporary residents made up 6.2% of Canada's population. But the new plan aims to reduce that figure to 5% over the next 3 years. This year has already seen key shift, especially with study permits. In January, IRCC capped study permits at 606K, a 35% reduction, with approvals expected to hover around 360K. By 2025, this cap will tighten further to 437K. And here's the catch: Masters and PhD students previously exempt from limits are now included in these figures, signaling a major shift in Canada's approach to international students. Post-graduation work permit or PGWP and spousal open work permits or SOWP are not spared either. Language proficiency requirements and other tightened eligibility criteria are expected to reduce PGWP permits by 175K over the next 3 years. Similarly, restrictions on SOWPs, particularly for spouses of master's students or those in non-priority programs, aim to cut open work permits by 325K. Temporary Foreign Worker or TFWP is also undergoing changes. Employers can no longer hire more than 10% of their workforce through the program, and low-wage foreign workers can only be employed for a year, making things even more complex for employers relying on foreign labor. And there's more. Randy Bosanol, Minister of Employment, announced today that starting November 8, 2024, wages for workers in temporary foreign workers high wage stream will increase by 20%, amounting to a $5 to $8 raise per hour depending on the province or territory. On top of that, from October 28, 2024, that's next week, employers won't be able to use attestation from professional accountants or lawyers to prove their business legitimacy anymore. Well, in the first place, these professions definitely they don't just easily sign those. Not in my whole life. I've sought a lot of people who are actually professionals to sign an attestation, but they don't do it. Of course, they don't want to be involved in this whatever things that the employer's intention. All these shifts come as Canada grapples with housing, healthcare, and infrastructure pressure. In the past, the government set a goal of welcoming 500K new permanent residents annually by 2025, focusing mainly on economic immigration. But these new policies Canada's population growth strategy may be changing course. And here's the kicker. Just a year ago, Miller said he couldn't imagine a world where Canada would cut back on immigration. But now, he is pointing to reports suggesting that a drop in non permanent residents is already coinciding with lower rent prices. What can I say, everyone? Right now, with the immigration chaos that's going on, as a licensee or an immigration practitioner, it is really mainly a headache for us for each and every announcement that they say. We can't do anything but to follow all this information. I'm calling out everyone right now in Canada. I know I am a licensed immigration consultant. I know I should say I recommend myself or anybody who are licensee people. If you want to know your future or your guidance, if you want a blueprint about your future or maintaining or fighting for your permanent residency in Canada, please, please, please do some favor to yourself. Do not, okay? Do not deal with people who are not licensee. Do not deal with people who are called themselves agencies. Do not deal with people who call themselves agents, or even people who are bloggers, who are, people who are creating social media noises about immigration law. Be very careful. Immigration, I can guarantee you, immigration is very complex. I'm happy that this is my profession, but for me, I am in this industry to tell you my side truth. Whatever the reality, whatever the truth, this is what I'm going to start from now on, letting you know what is there and what's expectation you can actually do. Mainly, please do, again I repeat, do some favor for yourself and for your future in Canada, especially for your family. Do not deal with people who are not licensee. I'm letting you know this because we are not perfect. As consultants, as licensees, we're not perfect. But we are bound to do ethical practices. We do our part, we do our best. It is not an assurance. But this time, please, those unlicensed people, they are actually doing all their best to collect money because they know that eventually all of these things they will come to know that the only people who collect money to represent you against immigration are people who have licenses and people who have experiences, and especially for people who have big heart to help for all those foreign nationals. So take care, everyone.